Dad, fast, fast, fast. Last night I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. Incredible. Fast.
Well, and I lived it, and so yes, I think that AT&T had a fabulous strategy, and here is how strategy is compromised by execution and speed of execution. So here we are. Long-distance services is over 10 cents a minute. In fact, at AT&T, it was about 12 cents a minute. And our frontline sales organization, which I was leading at the time, was competing against the likes of MCI, 9 cents a minute, cable and wireless, 7 cents a minute. But the business had made a strategic decision to become a technology leader. We were still positioning with our customers transactional long-distance services at a price disadvantage and in a commoditized market. But the business had made a choice to move to the internet. And at the time, the customers were asking us about data and internet capabilities, and we were left flat-footed. Imagine what would have happened if the entire AT&T organization had really understood the technology strategy that the business was going to be investing in and deploying over the years. It would have changed the pricing discussion of a commoditized product into a vastly different conversation with our customers. Unfortunately, there was no firm connection between what the board had decided and what the front lines were selling. And ultimately, AT&T lost its way, and of course, there's the rest of the story.
Welcome to the HBR IdeaCast. From Harvard Business Review, I'm Sarah Green. I'm here today with Ed Boswell, CEO and President of the Forum Corporation and co-author of Strategic Speed, Mobilize People, Accelerate Execution. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Sure, it's great to be here, Sarah.
Now, you start the book with a pretty sobering statistic. Only 30% of strategic initiatives are successfully executed. What role does speed, or maybe the lack of it, play?
Well, you know, the whole point of the book was to really look at this intersection of where urgency or speed intersects with execution and getting results. And what we found is that sobering statistic that regardless of all the initiatives over the past 20 years to re-engineer processes, leverage technology, the fact remains that most companies are still only 30% likely to actually achieve what they want to achieve. And you mix that or combine that with the fact that speed is becoming more and more just table stakes for companies to remain competitive. More and more companies are actually basing their competitive differentiation on how quickly they can execute. So we wanted to look at this intersection of speed on the one hand and execution on the other and see what we could learn about that.
Well, let's talk a little bit more then about the people factor. What needs to happen there?
Well, we discovered there are basically three things. So that's the good news. There are only three things you need to worry about. One of them is ensuring that the organization has clarity about the direction that you're going. So there's a shared understanding of what this new strategy is all about or what this initiative is really trying to accomplish. The second thing is unity, and that is everyone is wholeheartedly committed to achieving those goals and working together to achieve that outcome. And then the third piece, interestingly enough, is agility. The flexibility of the organization to fine-tune, tweak, or even change the strategic plan if conditions require that. So it's clarity, it's unity, and agility. Those three people factors, combined with an attention to pace, combined with an attention to process, leads you to strategic speed.
Can we maybe get into an example of where you see some of these best practices happening?
Sure. Well, there are a lot of great examples in the book. One of the ones that I was most impressed with is Vodafone. Now, Vodafone is the world's largest mobile cell phone carrier around, and they're based in London. And we had the chance to interview the CEO, Vittorio Calao. And he's known for speed, so we were really interested in understanding, so how do you take this behemoth of an organization? I mean, they operate in virtually every country around the world. And they've grown very, very quickly through acquisition. So it's actually not one integrated company. It's a lot of little companies all under the Vodafone umbrella. And he was saying to me that that's really a recipe for slowness, because there are just so many people to bring on board and that sort of thing, and to communicate with. And yet they have a reputation for doing things really, really quickly. And his secret is basically this, that he keeps it really, really simple, and he creates an accountability. So he would say, Sarah, I want you to go create this business. And he said, now, ordinarily, if you do that in any other organization, Sarah would go off and she would know, boy, this is really, really important, so I better not screw it up. And so when you say that little word, I don't want to screw it up, you tend to go slow. You tend to be very cautious. You're doing things in increments. You're not doing anything bold. You're not doing anything fast or speedy. So what he tells his executives is, he says, Sarah, I want you to create this business for me. I want you to do it really fast. I'd like you to do it within the next year. I know you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. I will not fire you for making mistakes over the next year. I will fire you if you keep making the same mistake over and over again. But trust me, I'll cover your back. The other thing is, if you ruffle some feathers in the organization as you try to achieve this ambitious goal, just have people call me and I'll take care of everything. So he said that it was a combination of being really clear on the outcome, being clear on the time frame, being clear on what accountability, but also providing that trust that you're not going to get fired for making mistakes, and I'll cover your back if other people come.